Yeah, so should
Yeah.
I call you Pastor? Pastor Joel,
Yeah,
pharmacist.
sure, sure you should, because I deserve the name.
That's
It is
fine.
Pastor Joel, Pastor Ndegea, end of the two.
Sawa. So I mean, I'm glad that you're here. So today you're going to clarify about that. But all in all, thank you for accepting the invitation. I remember I invited you last year. It has been
Yeah, sure,
it has
sure.
been so hard to get this opportunity, but now I'm happy you're here. And now we
Mm-hmm.
can talk. So who is Joel Ndegea?
Joel Ndegea. Broadly, it is Joel Ndegea, a pastor and a pharmacist, because I am registered as a pastor in Tanzania and I sometimes practice, but also now working full time as a pastor in Babat. So I am both a pastor and a pharmacist at the same time. So
Yeah.
you can call me whatever you want, a pastor, Pastor Joel, or pharmacist Joel. It is just you.
What's
So that is Yoel Ndegea, and I am now currently working as a full-time pharmacist at Babat.
okay. Full-time pharmacist, full-time pastor?
Oh, full-time pastor. Oh my goodness. When you say full-time, what comes easy is pharmacist. So
I
I
know.
am a full-time pastor, yeah.
Do you say, like, when you're introducing yourself, do you start by saying you're a pharmacist or you start by saying you're a pastor?
I think it is neither of the two. Most of the time, when someone asks me about my name, it is Joel Elias Ndegea, and I can rarely introduce myself using those prefixes. But at first, now that is in hand is pastor.
No.
It is very hard for them to recognize I'm a pharmacist until I preach. When I'm preaching, sometimes I try to match pharmacy and spiritual things. Then they will realize, like, okay, are you a pharmacist? Sometimes they do ask, and I say, okay, that is one of the issues I was doing before I was called to become a pastor. So it is easy to know I am a pastor than a pharmacist.
Okay. Joel, your journey is very interesting, and that is the reason as to why I called you here. The title of this talk is Give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So
Mhm.
I was so much interested to know about this. I never thought that you could. I knew that you had talent of ministry.
Mhm.
I never knew if it would turn out to be like this, being a full-time pastor. And I'm so much interested because when we go to medical school, we just at the end of the day we think we're all gonna be pharmacists, and we don't really think that somebody can just happen to do something quite different from being a pharmacist. I just want to know, like, what happened when did you decide that now I want to be a pastor?
It is very interesting because myself did not actually know if I could become a pastor as well. I was a pharmacist, and my passion was to serve as a pastor, as a pharmacist, not as a pastor. And you can understand, or if you can remember, after I completed my bachelor degree of pharmacy, I went to the University of Dar es Salaam, taking my Master of Public Health, knowing that will be something that I'll be practicing. But unfortunately, the unexpected happened, and the rest is the story. Now I'm working as a pastor. I
Fortunately,
never expected, as well, as you said, I was focusing to become a good pharmacist and to practice as a pharmacist. But at last, God called me into his mission, and I had no option but to accept. And that one thing that made me accept is it is God who planned me to become a pharmacist, and as well He was calling me to do the work of mission or ministry. Then I had to accept it, though it was not a nice, it was not an easy journey, but I had to accept it last, following a lot of events that happened in between. Then I said, okay, being a pharmacist needs me to serve people, and being a pastor as well is to serve people. So I accepted it to do it, serving spiritually um, and physically. So I try to integrate the two and make something good out of them. So that's why I accepted to become a pastor. But it was not easy. It was never easy. It was difficult, but here we are, a
Can,
pastor.
can we start from there? Do you think why was it difficult for you to accept that path?
It was difficult because my first passion was to become a pharmacist, and at the same time, I used it to like politics. You understand, and you know, and I'm very sure that you can remember. That was one of my passion, was to become a politician. So being a pastor, a call to minister as a pastor was a challenge, not only to me but to my father and my mother as well, my parents and other relatives. It was not easy to accept. It took me like 6 months to accept the call as a pastor, but it took my parents like infinite time to accept, because even to the moment we are talking now, they are not really ready. Yes, they've accepted, but not agreed. They just accepted, but not agreed. So to the moment we're talking, that's one of the challenges I'm facing. But they will finally agree with me, because that is what God wanted me to do. And along the work, I'm seeing His blessings, and the things that God is showing me confirm that I was meant to become a pastor. So here we are, and I am doing it better.
Are you happy?
Um, happiness is they say happiness is expectation, success minus expectation. If I do not mix it, it is a goal minus expectation. So when I balance the equation, it ranges from 60% to 90. So I am most of the time happy, and sometimes it's okay not to be okay. But I am generally happy. And I've never thought to go back to not being a pastor. So I am keeping forward.
Interesting. If you can go into specifics about something you've said about integration, like you are trying to integrate between these two, like
Mm.
where exactly do you think you see there is a point whereby being a pastor and being a pharmacist cross cut, and you can see maybe that's why God chose me to be a pastor after being a pharmacist first.
Actually, clearly, I was meant to serve for the people. I've meant to serve the people, and I have the passion for service. I didn't know it would turn out to be in this line, but I actually had a calling to serve. So I have this passion since I was small, and I've been practicing this even since I was in secondary school, primary school, and even at the level of the university. I tried a lot to serve people. So being a pharmacist needed me to serve people physically, and taking a medication to give someone for expecting that they will be healed, or they will feel better, now comes into being integrated with serving people spiritually, praying for them, giving them an encouragement when they go down in the, life sometimes treats us not as we wished. So I can integrate both, because both roles involve serving others. So as a pastor, I provide spiritual guidance and support to the community, as a pharmacist, I ensure people receive the medications as they need for their health. So taking them as an integral system, then you see they align. So that's how I navigate through both careers. Yeah.
Good one. I don't know if you have ever thought of this, but considering your journey
Yeah.
and different Bible stories, do you see that
Hmm.
your story resembles to which Bible character most, if you have ever thought about it?
Okay. I think it is Jesus. It
Really?
is Jesus himself, because yeah, it is Jesus himself, because he said we believe like missionary work. Missionary work is focused at making sure that a person sees Jesus both physically and spiritually. So Jesus was actually God, but 100% was also human. So he healed those who were sick, and at the same time, those who were down, he lifted them up. So as a pharmacist, sometimes a person comes, a client, I call them, a client comes, he or she explains about the family problems, and then you try to integrate the two systems, like seeing he is sick. Perhaps if I had know this background of farmer's practice, I could think him perhaps he's possessed with demons. But at the end of the time, you realize it is not even demons; it is depression or it is stress. So you don't just focus on prayer. You pray, but again, you tell them to go to the hospital because you have seen it is not an evil spirit, but it's something that is related to body. So it is very easy to narrow it down like it is the work that Jesus did, because he healed the people both physically and spiritually. So that is the character I am looking forward to, because I can see him performing both duties as a medical assist, medical, like a medical. I could say he performed work as a medical personnel as well as a pastor. I am mimicking his duties actually. So I see Jesus than any character in the Bible.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in my mind, I was thinking of Luke because he was a doctor. But also I think we don't have so many accounts of Luke doing maybe this spiritual ministry and healings. I don't know those kind of things. I think we only find Luke as an evangelist who writes the story of Jesus, and also we know a little bit about his background as a doctor. And now I know. Now I'll go to the next question, and I want you to tell me, like, do you still think of yourself as a part of Tanzanian pharmacists? And do you think now that you are not um, working full time as a pharmacist, do you think what part are you still playing uh, as you being a part of Tanzanian pharmacists, if that question makes sense?
Yeah, it does. It does, because if you're talking of Joel Ndegea, I was called to serve as a pastor after I had this full background of being a pharmacist. So being a pharmacist qualified me to go direct to ministry. So I cannot throw away something that brought me into the mission. So I am doing both sometimes, but most of the time I do the pastoral ministry. But as a pharmacist, I do consultation. I love reading. I love studying. So I've not thrown away my previous ministry, and I've been working with some of my friends who are running their pharmacies. So I do as a consultant when they want to open pharmacies and when they want to go for negotiation internationally. And I've traveled to a lot of countries. To mention, I cannot mention them, but there are more than 5 countries that I've gone just for this work. And I've been doing this while I do the ministry as well. So I've not thrown away the passion to work as a pharmacist, because it is something that I studied and I love it. And you can see and appreciate, like, even during these pharmaceutical meetings, the AGM, the annual general meetings. I attend all of them. I think since I was registered, there is no any annual general meeting that I failed to attend. So I am a pharmacist and I'm registered and I pay all the fees stipulated under the Pharmacy Act. So I can say I am still a full registered pharmacist and known in my country. Yeah, that's
Okay.
what I could say. But yeah.
So, one of the things that we do in this session is actually to also kind of advise people who are
Yeah.
considering making some decisions concerning
Mm,
careers. And I would like
mm,
you to tell somebody out there who is maybe he is or he or she is in a medical school and
mm,
she's thinking that
mm,
maybe she doesn't want to follow this conventional career path. Maybe she
mm.
thinks maybe she wants to do something different, maybe being an artist or being something which is quite different from being a pharmacist. So by the inspiration from your story, what would you tell that kind of a person?
Okay. Being a pharmacist needs passion. Being a pastor needs calling. So those two terms are different. If someone has a passion to be a pharmacist, that does not prevent him or her from becoming someone else, an artist, a singer, a pastor like me. I encourage these guys to take time and realize their potential. Many people outside here are looking forward to having these people who have different backgrounds. So if you feel like you can perform well as an artist, that is a talent. You have to take that chance. Take that chance. If you feel like you have to become a pastor, don't even look for, most of the people look for what they earn at the end of the month or at the end of the day. But we don't look at what we earn. Actually, the most important thing is to have this I call it peace of mind. You might choose to become a doctor, but in real sense you became a doctor just because you did well in your examinations and become a pharmacist. So I would advise them to try different issues. And this world now needs people who are connected to something that they are doing. If you do not have this inner drawing, the inner passion, the inner calling, you cannot even perform that you think you're and do what gives them peace. Because if you do something that you love, you're preparing yourself to prosper. That's what I can advise my fellow brothers and sisters. Do something that comes from your inner and most inner part of your heart. That will make you a huge person, and you will leave a legacy on this earth. So that is what I could advise.
Okay, thank you so much. Joel, now I think I'm going to ask you the last question. And this comes from the video, which actually it's from you. You were preaching, and I saw it somewhere. So many people were like making a lot of a lot of jokes and asking themselves like, What is he saying?" I could understand like just by having a Christian background. So I could understand what you are saying. And if you give me a permission, I'll put a clip of that here, some that people can have a reference. Okay.
What is that video, Emma? What is it? What is it you're talking about?
I know, I know you know it. But yeah, you were preaching and saying that people should not worry because if they believe in God who provides everything, so everything
Mm,
is in this world belongs to them. And you even
mm,
mentioned a couple of things which are physically available. I don't know, some
mm,
in a certain city in Tanzania.
mm,
Interesting. So maybe if you want to make a very simple
Mm.
explanations into what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I would like you to kind of defend yourself. Not defending actually, but just like explaining and make it a little bit clear so that if somebody has ever come across it and is watching here can understand better. What did you mean by that?
Nikitoka hapo nikaliona ghorofa, hata kama silali humo, kwa sababu imo ndani ya dunia na vyote vijazavyo, maana ni ya baba yangu, na baba yangu ninamtolea zaka na sadaka. Ninamdai, hanidai baba, kwa kuwa ninamdai na hicho anakimiliki. Kwa hiyo mimi ni mtoto wa baba. Kwa hiyo hilo ghorofa huyo mtu kapewa tu alitunze, ila ni la kwetu mimi na baba yangu. Unakuwa na stress za nini?
Okay, that video, the video clip.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, we say the earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, the word and they that dwell in. So, that video was referring to the book of Psalms, chapter 24. Like everything that is on earth, everything that we own, be it education, be it houses and all the towers, as I put it forth, they all belong to God. So that was a calling to let people know, not being stressed in life, because we have God, we have Jesus, we have God the provider, the giver, we have God the comforter. Then why do you have to stress yourself? If you are trying something that is difficult to achieve, please just turn your hands up and say, God, here's your son, here is your daughter, because he knows. And we actually didn't write a letter to God to ask that, okay, we want to be born on earth. So everything that we do is God. That's why I tell most of the time I tell my fellow parishioners in my church, like, okay, everything that you see in me, be it wearing a good suit, wearing something interesting, or doing something, anything, it is not me, it is Jesus. So people should not even stress themselves. We should actually, yes, work hard. We should give the tithe, we should give the offering. Why should we give? Because they all belong to him. So when I said I will use this word, Swahili word, magorofa ni ya baba yetu. Yes, that's what I really meant. They all belong to him. So in the end of the time, tutayakabidhi kwake. We would put all these issues, all this stuff to him, because they will be of no use at last. They will be cast on fire. So what we have to do is to make sure we connect ourselves, we connect our hearts to Jesus. Let him know everything that you wish to achieve in this life. So if you are giving him his tithe, you are giving the offering, you are giving not because you want him to bless you. You are giving because he really deserves all those stuff, because they are not ours, we just borrowed. So I'm not stressed in this life. I went to school and it was just Jesus who made me even pursue as a pharmacist. It is him who gave me this master degree. It is him who gave me the car, if it happens that I buy a new one, or a car. It is him. So it was just a calling, an appeal for people not to be stressed. This life needs just Jesus. If you are connected to him, you have it all. We say if you have Jesus, it's like someone who has a hammer. All other stuff just become a nail. So Jesus is all. Jesus is Omega. Jesus is Alpha. We should give ourselves to him. So that's what I really meant about that video. So I don't know why people interpreted the way they did, but it was actually meant to draw people out of stress.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's very well explained. And I think the problem nowadays with social media is people will take like a 5 seconds clip and then
Mm-hmm.
just out of the context and then translate it that way. But if you listen to the entire video, sometimes you find it's 30 minutes and an hour, you'll find the general message and you'll be able to integrate everything so that you are not going to be misinformed. So I think that's the first challenge. And I like the fact that you have pointed out working hard, because there's this
Yeah.
sense whereby people who believe, sometimes they believe without taking actions. And the Bible itself say that faith without actions is actually dead. So I think it's important to understand that you can have faith, but for things to happen, you have to put some work, you have to put some efforts to get there. So I hope that is clear. I was just trying to add a couple of stuff from what you've
Yeah, sure.
said.
Sure.
Yes.
Sure. But I think to add on this, people are confusing some of these important issues. When it comes to faith, faith does not need you to sleep. If I give you my routine, my everyday routine, you'll be astonished. I do not sleep more than 6 hours a day. I don't. I work hard. I try to become the best out of everything that I do. If you call me to act as a pharmacist, I'll make sure I do it at the level that you would not even expect. If you want me to preach, I want to preach it very enthusiastically. So I do it to the maximum possible. So when we're talking of faith, faith does not call for laziness. Faith does not call us for taking things for granted. Faith, if you incorporate faith with hard work, we say human effort plus divine power equals success. And success is not final. Success is not final. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Success is not final. So I encourage people not to take faith as something that will lead them to becoming lazy. No, you have to work hard. Work hard, and especially for those guys whose families are they are the startups. So you have to work hard, very hard, because the world is never fair. It's not fair. No one will sympathize with you because you are poor. No one will sympathize with you because you have a poor background. No. We do not have that time to sympathize with you. We want you to deliver. If you are called to being as a pastor, deliver. If you are called to become a pharmacist, deliver. That's what we are looking. We are after results. We are after results. So people should work hard.
Yeah.
But Jesus is everything. God first. Yeah.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Pastor, you have just laid a very good foundation to anyone who thinks out there that you cannot do two different things at the same time. So
Mm.
what I've taken from you is whenever you get an opportunity to do something, give your best, and you
Yeah.
will succeed eventually. So thank you for that. And now I don't have questions remained. I just want to ask you, are you looking forward to attending the next annual general meeting for pharmacists in Arusha?
That is a must attend meeting. I've never planned to miss and I'll never miss.
That's good. That's good.
So I've even fixed my timetable to make sure that I attend. Yeah. I'll be
Perfect.
there.
Perfect. Hopefully, we are going to meet there. It was nice to have this talk with you.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if you have anything to say before we close the session.
No, thank you for inviting me. So, though it was actually not meant to be done in April, but I am thankful that you considered it, and here I am, and I've given what you intended me to give. I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and I pray you that you prosper in whatever you are doing. God
Thank you.
lead you, and may God watch over you. Thank you.
Thank you. A prayer from Pastor, and I'm saying amen for that. All the best
Amen.
over there. All the best in everything you are doing, and see you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Have
Welcome.
a, have a good night here. Bye bye.
Thank you.